So hello everyone and welcome to our channel Intromech, and today we are going to learn a very important topic, which is principal stress and principal planes. So first we will see what is a principal plane. So the plane on which only normal stresses are acting and no shear stress is acting, that is the shear stress is zero, that plane is called as principal plane. So on principal plane only normal stresses are acting, okay, only normal stresses, and tau, that is shear stress, is zero. So such planes are principal planes. Okay, now what is principal stress? The normal stress which is acting on the principal plane is nothing but the principal stress. Okay, so it will have a maximum value, it will have a minimum value. So according to that, there will be maximum principal stress, let's say sigma 1, which will be say maximum, and sigma 2, which will be minimum principal stress. Okay, now the shear plane. Now the plane on which shear stress is acting, it is a shear plane. Now it is very important that on the shear plane it is not necessary that the normal stress acting is zero, or we can say that on the shear plane there is always some value of normal stress which is acting. Now you have seen that when we consider principal plane, no shear stress is acting, but on the contrary, if we consider the shear plane, there is always some normal stress which is acting on the shear plane. So this point is very important. As we go ahead, we will see that what is the value of the normal stress which is acting on the shear plane. Okay, then maximum and minimum shear stress. Same, there will be some maximum shear stress and there will be some minimum shear stress which is acting on the shear plane. So how this concept of principal plane and principal stresses has evolved? So let's consider a body. Okay, now in this case, if it is subjected to stress like tensile stress sigma x, now in this case there is no other stress acting, so we can say that this is the principal plane and sigma x is nothing but our normal stress. Now if I add another compressive stress, let's say it is sigma y, and it is minus because it is compressive. Now again this will be also a principal plane because only normal stress is acting. Okay, so it is again our principal plane. Now suppose if the system is complex, let's consider shear stresses are also acting on the body. Now in this case we cannot directly say which plane is the principal plane, and we have to find out the plane which is a principal plane. Okay, so if we consider a body simple, now if it is subjected to, let's consider a stress, okay, sigma x, and then again it is subjected to tensile stress sigma y, and also shear stress is acting. So it is a complex state of stresses which is acting on the body. Now in this case, can we say that how the body will fail, or which is the stress because of which the body is getting failed? Now initially it was assumed that the value of stress which is maximum, let's consider that if sigma x is 100 Newton per mm square, sigma y is 50 Newton per mm square, and tau is suppose 75. So by saying this, we can say that the body is getting failed because of this stress, because it is getting failed because of this stress, because it is maximum. But when the scientists do some study, they found that this body is not getting failed because of this stress sigma x, but it is getting failed at some another plane. Okay, and the stress acting on that plane is different than this plane. So here comes the theory of principal plane and principal stresses. So we have to find out the principal stress because of which the body is getting failed, and with the help of this principal stresses we have the elastic failure theories of the material. So we never consider this sigma x or sigma y or tau xy. We always consider the principal stresses, that is the normal principal stresses and shear stresses, because of which the body actually failed. So this is the importance of principal stresses, and that's why we have to find out these principal stresses. Okay, now the important concept is the Mohr circle. So Mohr was a German scientist who invented this Mohr circle, and it is nothing but the 2D representation of the stresses. So again we have considered this complex state of stresses, the sigma x, sigma y and tau xy, and this is tau yx. So all these stresses are acting on a body. So we have to represent this on a 2D plane. Okay, now here a very important and basic thing that we have to consider is each stress which we are representing on the Mohr circle, the angle is half in practical case. So when we draw the circle you will understand this more clearly, but this is very important thing in the representation of Mohr circle. So first we will decide our sign conventions. So for normal stresses which are tensile, we will consider positive, and for compressive we will consider negative. Similarly for now this is tau xy and this is its complementary pair, and they are going to rotate the body in anti-clockwise direction. So for anti-clockwise we will consider negative, and for clockwise, so these pairs will create a clockwise, so we will consider positive. Okay, now let's start to plot the Mohr circle. So first let's consider sigma x is 100 Newton per mm square, sigma y is say 20 Newton per mm square, and tau, let's consider it is 50 Newton per mm square. So we are considering these values to just represent it on a circle. So first point is okay, sigma x. Now we represent the normal value on this x-axis and the shear stress on the y-axis. Okay, so this is our origin, so this will be our positive sigma, this is our negative, this is our positive tau, and this is our negative shear. Okay, so we have plotted the xy coordinates. Now first is sigma x. Sigma x is 100 Newton per mm square. So here let's consider it is sigma x, that will be 100 comma 0. Then sigma y is 20, so here it will be, let's consider this as a point A, this as a point B. Now tau xy is 50, so it will be like here. Okay, and then again we will have a negative shear also, that is minus tau xy. Okay, so if we join these 2 points, we will get some center point, and with the help of this center point we will draw a circle. Okay, now it is not to the scale, so just try to understand the concept. Okay, now this is the circle. Now we have got 2 points here. This is 1 and this is 1. So this was our sigma x. Okay, this was our sigma y. Now 2 points we have got. Let's say this center point is C, so this is D and this is E. So D, if we consider this D, this is nothing but our sigma 1, that is maximum principal stress, and this E at E, this will be our sigma 2, that is our minimum principal stress. Okay, and if we draw the radius of this circle, okay, now we know that y is representing the tau, and this is the highest point on the y-axis, so it will be our tau max. This is nothing but minimum tau max. Okay, this will be tau minimum. Okay, the values will be same, just sign convention. This is positive and this is negative. This is nothing but the radius of this Mohr circle. So what is important here? The radius of Mohr circle always represent the maximum shear stress. Okay, so this point is very important. So we have points A, B, C, D, E, and let's consider this is as F. Okay, and let's consider the angles. This is 2 theta and this is 2 phi. Now theta is the angle for the principal plane and phi is for the finding out the plane of shear stress. Okay, maximum shear stress. So why we have taken this 2 theta and 2 phi? Now as I have said earlier, whatever values we are getting from this Mohr circle, in actual practice, in actual case, they are half. So here if we consider this D and E, these are our principal planes, or if you consider A and B, here we have represented, that is sigma x and sigma y. So here if you see sigma x and sigma y, they are separated by angle 90 degree. And here if you see, the angle between them is 180 degrees. Okay, so if you do half, then it is 90 degree. In actual case, it is 90 degree. Likewise for the shear stress also same. Okay, so this is very important, and that's why while finding out the magnitude and the location, so this theta and phi, these angles are nothing but the location, and this each point on this circle is nothing but the plane. This is the plane, and the stress which is acting on this normal plane D is our maximum principal stress, that is sigma 1, and E is the minimum principal stress plane, and the value of minimum principal stress is sigma 2. Okay, so this is very important concept. Okay, so how to find out the values? Now we are not going into the derivation part. So sigma 1 is given as sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus under root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 bracket square plus tau xy square. Okay, and sigma 2 can be found out as sigma x plus sigma y by 2 minus under root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 bracket sigma y by 2 bracket square plus tau xy square. Okay, so we can found out the maximum principal stress and minimum principal stress by these values, and as we have seen, the radius of the Mohr circle indicates the maximum shear stress. So maximum shear stress tau max is also given as sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. So by finding out sigma 1 and sigma 2, we can find tau max, that is the maximum shear stress. Okay, so we have found out the maximum principal stress, minimum principal stress, maximum shear stress. Okay, now if we have to find out the planes. Okay, so if I write tan 2 theta, it will be our opposite side upon adjacent side. Okay, so opposite side is tau xy, so this is tau xy we have written. Okay, and this is, if we found out this value, it will come as sigma x minus sigma y by 2. Okay, so from this we can find out the location of principal plane theta, and if we consider tan 2 phi, it will be sigma x minus sigma y by 2 upon tau xy. Okay, so we can find out the location of maximum shear stress. Okay, so let's represent all these things on a single element, so that will be more clear. So let's consider a body, let's consider a plane here. We are going to represent all the things on this. Okay, so as we see, we have here sigma x acting. Okay, then it is sigma y. Okay, and then we have shear stress tau xy, tau xy. Okay, so we have seen the locations, how we have found the locations of the plane. So if I say theta p1, that is the plane of first principal stress, it is suppose theta p. So theta p2 will be theta p plus 90 degrees. So they will be separated by 90 degrees. How we will see here. Okay, and if we want to have a planes of maximum shear stress, let's consider as a theta s1, that will be our theta p plus 45, and theta s2 will be theta p plus 135 degrees. Okay, so if I draw the planes now, okay, so this will be our theta p1. Okay, so this will be our theta p1. Now theta p2 is theta p, this is theta p, so theta p2 is theta p plus 90 degrees. So at theta p we have our first principal plane. Okay, so on this plane the stress which is acting is our sigma 1, that is principal plane, principal stress 1, and then we have theta p2, that is theta p plus 90 degrees. Okay, that is theta p plus 90 degrees. Okay, so theta p plus 90 degrees. So on this plane, we have sigma 2. Okay, now we have seen the plane of shear stress. Okay, so it will again, we will draw. So we have drawn this planes for shear stress. Okay, so we have seen this is theta s1, which will be theta p plus 45. So this will be tau max and it will create its complementary pair, and then theta s2 will be theta p plus 135 degrees. So that will be 40 plus 90 degrees, so that will be total of 135 degrees. So this will be tau minimum. Okay, and this will be its complementary pair which gets generated. So this is how we can utilize the Mohr's circle, and it is very important to know the basics of Mohr's circle and how we are representing these stresses in the 2D plane with the help of Mohr's circle, because while learning the theories of elastic failure, we are going to these concepts. We have to deal with principal plane and principal stresses only. We don't consider the sigma x or sigma y stresses. We are focusing on the stresses because of which the material is getting failed. So this is very important topic, and I hope you understood the basics, and if you have any doubts, please do write into the comment section and we can discuss over there. Until then, be safe and stay happy. Thank you.